If music be the food of love, play on, give me excess of it, that surfeiting, the appetite may sicken, and so die. If all the skies were sunshine, our faces would be fain to feel once more upon them the cooling splash of rain. If all the world were music, our hearts would often long for one sweet strain of silence, to break the endless song if life were always mere. I've made money, and I've been ripped off. I've had creative freedom, and I've been pressured to make hits. I have dealt with diva behavior from crazy musicians, and I have seen genius records by wonderful artists get completely ignored. I love music. Whoever wants music instead of noise, joy instead of pleasure, soul instead of gold, creative work instead of business, passion instead of foolery, finds no home in this trivial world of ours. I don't look at our society today too much. My focus is still in the past, and part of the reason is because what I do, the wellspring of art, or what I do, I'll get from the blues. So I listen to the music of a particular period that I'm working on. These are the things I prize and hold of dearest worth: light of the sapphire skies, peace of the silent hills, shelter of the forests, comfort of the grass, music of birds, murmur of little rills, shadows of cloud that swiftly pass, and the world is filled with people who are no longer needed, and who try to make slaves of all of us. And they have their music and we have ours. Theirs, the wasted songs of a superstitious nightmare. Together with the culture of work, there must be a culture of leisure as gratification. To put it another way, people who work must take the time to relax, to be with their families, to enjoy themselves, read, listen to music, play a sport. With pop music, the format dictates the form to a big degree. Just think of the pop single. It has endured as a form even in the download age because bands conform to a strict format, and work, often very productively, within the parameters. I think one of my favorite things to do is just lock myself up in a small room and listen to music and watch films for a day. Also, I just like seeing my friends. We have pizza parties, which means I get 4 friends round. The Master of Life's been good to me. He has given me strength to face past illnesses, and victory in the face of defeat. He has given me life and joy where others saw oblivion. He has given new purpose to live for. The wonderful thing about rock music is even if you hate the other person, sometimes you need him more, you know. In other words, if he's the guy that made that sound, he's the guy that made that sound, and without that guy making that sound. I think it is time we learn the lesson of our century, that the progress of the human spirit must keep pace with technological and scientific progress, or that spirit will die. It is incumbent on our educators to remember this, we be lost. There's something about music that encourages people to want to know more about the person that made it, and where it was recorded, what year it was done, what they were listening to, and all this kind of stuff. Forces that you might think are utterly unrelated to creativity can have a big impact. Technology, obviously, but environment, too. Even financial structures can affect the actual content of a song. The making of music has profoundly affected you. I encourage people not to be passive consumers of music and of culture in general. And feeling like, yeah, you can enjoy the products of professionals, but that doesn't mean you don't have to completely give up the reins and give up every connection. Mozart in his music was probably the most reasonable of the world's great composers. It is the happy balance between flight and control, between sensibility and self-discipline, simplicity and sophistication of style that is his particular province. The music enchanted the air. It was like the south wind, like a warm night, like swelling sails beneath the stars, completely and utterly unreal. It made everything spacious and colorful. The dark stream of life seemed pulsing in it. There were no the beautiful in life. Some talk of it in poetry, some grow it from the soil, some build it in a steeple, some show it through their toil. Some breathe it into music, some mold it into art, some shape it into bread loaves. Some hold it in their heart. There is something about music that keeps its distance even at the moment that it engulfs us. It is at the same time outside and away from us and inside and part of us. In one sense it dwarfs us, and in another we master it. We are led on and on. I liked blues from the time my mother used to take me to church. I started to listen to gospel music, so I liked that. But I had an aunt at that time, my mother's aunt, who bought records by people like Lonnie Johnson, Robert Johnson, Blind Lemon Jeff. I feel so lucky to have lived the life that I did and to be surrounded by the people I love. I've got 8 kids, and they're always laughing all the time. It's like music to my ears. I think that my frame of mind these days is probably happier. The E Street Band casts a pretty wide net. Our influences go all the way back to the early primitive garage music, and also, we've had everything in the band from jazz players to Kansas City trumpet players to Nils Lofgren, one of the great Brock Good. Look at music for what it's worth around the world and not just America. In other countries, people are still buying CDs and going to record stores. But in America, it's all about digital. The game is breaking down. But, look at me, you need to know. I just wanted to be a composer. I became an actor by default, really. I got a scholarship to a college of music and drama, hoping to take a scholarship in music. But I ended up as an acting student, so I've stuck with that for the last 50-odd years. The great thing about Nashville back in the day was that the old guys hung out where the young guys were. The established writers like Harlan Howard and Jack Clement gave us encouragement and passed the guitar, you know? Chet Atkins let me sit in on At an earlier age, I was kind of into a pretty large scope or range of music from Hieroglyphics and the Hoba Junction guys and all that to like a lot of stuff that was in New York like Diamond D, Nas, Brand Nubian, of course Biggie, OC, Organized Conference. I think no artist can claim to have any access to the truth, or an authentic version of an event. But obviously they have slightly better means at their disposal because they have their art to energize whatever it is they're trying to write about. All the music I loved as a child, people thought it was junk. People were unaware of the subtext in so many of those records. But if you were a kid, you were just completely tuned in, even though you didn't always say, you wouldn't dare say it was. You may be sitting in a room reading this book. Imagine one note struck upon the piano. Immediately that one note is enough to change the atmosphere of the room, proving that the sound element in music is a powerful and mysterious agent, which it won't. Have a nice day. After listening to Quotes of the Day, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment.